one of your favorite rappers, our guy Roddy Ricch, and I say that in jest because if I remember correctly, you don't really like ride with Roddy Ricch, right?
Well, I didn't ride with the last album. Live Life Fast came out less than a year ago, December 2021. That was the sophomore record from Roddy, first release since The Box, of course, took off
Yeeter.
his debut album and became one of the longest running number ones of the 2020s thus far. And Roddy basically fell flat on his face with the follow up record. We talked about it, we didn't like it, there weren't any hits on it. I'm not surprised to see him come back to the well so soon, given how poorly the last full length went. This, of course, Feed the Streets 3, the uh, trilogy capper to his two mixtapes that really put him on the map, where the first hits of his came from. Of course, people know. And I do think Roddy did a better job of getting back to what makes his best music. His best qualities, his best abilities are much more evident on Feed the Streets 3 than they were on Live Life Fast. Is this a great mixtape? No. I think there's still a lot of sameness in the production.
Oh,
And
you
I think
think?
Roddy as a lyricist is still quite up and down. But the highlights on this, I think, are speaking more to, I think, what I like about Roddy Ricch, who really came up and rode the wave and led the way of that melodic kind of auto croony style of Southern hip hop, West Coast hip hop that we've gotten over the last 5 years. Like when he does that well, he does it very well. He can do it good. And I think the moments of him really in his bag at his most comfortable on Feed the Streets 3 are, it's good to hear that because Live Life Fast, I think, was just a lot of like uninspiring singing from him. He's not a great singer. And when he does it, it's very up and down, but usually down. I like it more when he really combines the two with the hip hop. And there are some moments that I liked on Feed the Streets 3.
You just fucking fried him, dude. You were like, everything sounds the same. His lyricism's crap, but it's still better than the last album, man. Just ah, that was great to hear. It was like so many. It was like such a veiled like compliment in a way, but I think you're exactly right. I found myself just like I didn't really enjoy this much at all. The sameness for me. I mean, this just felt like fairly generic. I listened to this and I listened to this right after I listened to Sweetie, and I'm like, oh man, like just the difference in like energy and
Hmm.
like confidence and like uniqueness was so drastic, and it really feels like Roddy is just kind of trying to be like one of those like down the middle type rappers who's kind of using like these beats that sound incredibly familiar. I don't feel like he's like doing anything that's super out there
Hmm.
and or like really pops in comparison to his peers. And I don't know. I didn't find myself too impressed with this, other than probably Twin with Lil Durk, which I thought
Dirk
was
went
like,
hard as hell, didn't he?
yeah. But that's the thing is, I was like, damn, like Dirk shows up and just fucking steals the song. It's like, okay,
For
cool.
sure.
I don't really don't know if that's what the takeaway that Roddy wanted from this album, but okay, that's where we're
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, no, for me, it's a lot of moments, right? Like, you got a short song like Stop Breathing, which I think is pretty good. A song like Fade Away. Um, that hook melody, it's a bit slower, but I think that's actually Roddy. He sounds really comfortable, like the fade away. Like he just like actually like
Mm.
sounds like really smooth when he does that sometimes. And like some moments like that I think like stood out to me. Heavier, again, the hook catchy. He's like da 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 got heavier, da 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 got heavier, like stuff
Oh
like that
yeah.
just kind of it's a bit stickier than some of his more recent music, at least. My favorite song is "Number One Freak" with Ty Dolla Sign. Is that a raunchy, misogynistic hip hop song? Absolutely, but God, is that shit catchy as hell? Like I don't know, I loved it, man. It's a toxic song, but I really dug it.
Yeah, I agree. That was another one that stood out to me and just sounded different energy to it. Uh, Maybe he needs to do like a collab album with someone or find someone he can collab with, but
I think
I don't
if
know,
we could
man.
just like get some better production, like you're on Atlantic Records, surely the beat budget could be increased because it's just uninspiring. It's
Yeah.
not like he has enough vocal talent that with better beats things would be more evident as catchy. And the first record, please forgive me for being antisocial. I thought the beats were way better on that. And just more inspired choices, right? Like when he would have like background choir on some of his songs, where then if he like slowed it down or was doing more of a storytelling type song, it just kind of livened him up. But when he doesn't have, I think, those other flourishes, it's really up to Roddy alone to stand out, and I don't think he has that consistency to really carry a whole album that way, at
No.
least not right now. And then it's perhaps even like eye-opening or disappointing, depending on how you look at it, when you hear the last song, "Letter to My Son," where he's incredibly introspective
Mhm.
and inward looking. You know, I mean, I like the way he talks about it. He's like, I tried this. I did the street life. You ain't missing nothing. You know, whatever he says.
Mhm.
You know, it's like wow. It's like really perspective and like cool to hear that from him because you don't really hear poignant
Yeah.
lyrics with any consistency from Roddy, but he did do it. I think really effectively on a slower song to end the tape. You know,
Yeah.
um, so I don't know. Maybe in time he'll find more consistency, but I don't even know if I need that from him. I would just like better beats for
Mhm.
funner hits. You know, just
Yeah.
make some fun stuff because when I think of people that do the melodic hip hop type of stuff, he is one of the first people I would think of because like his hits are hits for a reason. He has some great
Right.
tracks to his name. So hopefully he can hone in. But I do think this is in a better direction than we had, you know, 11 months ago.
Mhm. No, yeah, I definitely think it's a step up, and, you hear a song like Aston Martin Truck, which I think is one of the hits from this, quote, unquote,
Hmm.
and, like, there's something there where, like, this could be catchier, this could be elevated, and it just kind of goes on too long, it falls flat, and it's like, maybe yeah, I think you're right, maybe if you get some better collaborators or people working with him to refine this a bit, he can recapture that magic, but a lot of it just kind of clicking through, it's like, I don't know if this is anything
Hmm.
special right now.
Yeah,
So,
he's still only 24. He just turned 24.
well, a lot of time for him to find his stride and make better stuff, but I don't think I don't think this is going to be the one. Feed the Streets 3.